and animals for the Woodland Park Zoo as I examined the linens and placed them in the plastic storage tub. "Okay," I said, looking around the room, the sideboard now empty. Something accomplished today, and it made me feel good to have one of the many small tasks that it would take to empty her house of nearly 50 years. I looked at my watch. I have to leave at 3 to head back to the hospital, so what can we get done in an hour? "One drawer to go," she said from the dining chair where she'd settled in, where I'd knelt in front of the sideboard. "The bottom one." Her words made my chest ache, but also soothed them. I hated that she was getting confused more often. It reminded me that one day Grammy would be gone, but it also convinced me that we were making the right decision to move her. No more worry about her alone in this big house. "All done," I said, pointing to my tub of linens. "The bottom one, Allie. The apron is a drawer." "I didn't know that," I said, feeling sheepish that I'd thought she had been confused. "A secret drawer?" "That's the point," she said. The sideboard had been in this house my entire life, and I'd never known that. I tilted my head to look at the piece, not quite believing her. "It's where your grandpa kept his favorite pistol." "Still there?" I said with a smile, reaching down under the lip of the cabinet. "Well, maybe. It's been a long time since I dug around in that thing." "I'm going to change your name to Mrs. Basil E. Frankweiler," I said, giving the concealed drawer a tug. It didn't budge. Maybe she was confused after all. "Or Mrs. Piggle-Wiggle, but only if we find a Degas or pirate gold." "It was a statue of an angel. Leonardo da Vinci," she corrected me. In and out, touch and go, here and there. I was never sure where a conversation would lead us, and based upon the swelling in her extremities, I wasn't sure today was going to be a good day for coherent conversation. It wasn't her head so much as her heart that was slowly killing her by refusing to pump. She needed access to round-the-clock medical care now, not just sitters and family at the house. And we were making that happen, although no one was happy about it. "Oh, that's right," I replied, the memories flooding back of this story of a headstrong girl and her younger brother running away to the Met. What I really remember about that book was them taking a bath in the fountain. My grandmother and I were very close. The afternoons of my childhood had been spent at her house with my brother and sister. And while my parents were at work, Grammy showered us with troves of books. She was a children's librarian, or she had been until she'd gotten married. Because, as she'd explained a million times to me over the years, in those days nice women didn't work outside the home after they were married, and so she'd retreated to a life of children and tennis and dinner parties. I gave the drawer another tug, and it budged a few inches, but it didn't slide open. "Oh, and the sideboard is yours too. No argument, it was—" "Alice's?" I guessed as I wiggled the drawer open to find not pieces of 8 or a sketch of a ballerina, but more table linens. "No, her mother's. You'll be the 5th generation of women in our family to own it." I looked at the dark, heavy Victorian behemoth with new eyes, knowing it was going home with me, and knowing I had nowhere in my tiny IKEA-furnished apartment to put it. But I spoke the truth. "Thank you. I'll be a good caretaker." "I know you will, sweet pea." I looked down at the linens, focusing on the task rather than the meaning of the work I was doing, filling the plastic bin with more ancient fabric than I'd ever begin to use. Under the last tablecloth, I found a small, flat box. The pistol? I recognized the foil-stamped logo. Frederick and Nelson, the Grand Seattle department store that now only existed on Grammy's bad days when she'd ask me or someone else to take her there for lunch. "Grandpa's gun?" I asked, setting the box into my lap as I sat on the floor. I lifted the lid. Papers.